Great, teacher. I'm great. Those last days were a little bit difficult because I think that I told you that now I'm working with my with one with one familiar, and there's a lot of information that I need to process. Actually, tomorrow I'll go to Lagos de Moreno, and after that to León, and the next Friday too I'll go to León too to check some companies that they are certified. I think that is called CityPad certifications and OEA certifications. So yeah, I've been a little bit busy in that, but everything great, sure. And you?
Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. I think it's your Uncle Tonio's wife that you've been working. She works on certifications and courses and seminars.
Yeah, exactly that.
That's fabulous. No, that's fabulous. And that's going to give you a lot of experience and exposure to people, exposure to projects, seminars. That's going to be fantastic. Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah, that's why I decided to yeah, in a way involve me a little bit more in that because it was something that I haven't experienced. So it's an experience, and yeah, I'm learning a lot. And now I'm doing a presentation of one of the enterprises that we're gonna visit tomorrow. Because well, you know that in the it's supposed that CityPad is customs trade against terrorism, and I think that it was created after the 9/11, and yeah, the purpose is to try to avoid, you know, um, that drugs, arms, and all this illegal stuff pass to the United States. So the government of the United States required that certification that the companies here in Mexico have the certification to export or import from or to the United States. So yeah, it's interesting.
Okay. So they want companies to be certified to be protected against smuggling weapons or drugs into the US.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, smuggling drugs, right? Smuggling drugs. Okay. How does that happen? I mean, they give them certification or some type of training, or how is that?
Mm-hmm. Well, the enterprise of the wife of my uncles is that in a way like audit. I don't know if there's the correct word.
Audit, yes, yeah.
Yeah, other companies. It's like an external audit, you know, and she shows to the companies the requirements that the government of the United States needs to give that certification. So in a way, the company of my of Suki
Mhm.
prepares the different enterprises. For example, are divided. I think there are like 13 or 14 steps. In all of them includes risk assessments, the personal protection, the different, you know, where they storage. Everything is related to the chain supplier, right?
Yes.
So yeah, she in a way like teach the enterprises to could have this certification. I think that that certification you need to do it every year because every year is having like updates and all stuff. So they need to stay always updated in that.
Oh, I see. Well, that's amazing. Really, really good. I remember that when I was working with a grower here in León,
Hmm.
um, I went to Guadalajara several times to the city market, to the Central de Bastos, right, the city market. And when I visited a chain store similar to Soriana and Walmart, which is called Casa Ley, I don't know if you are familiar with them. Casa,
Casale?
Casa Ley, yeah. You can Google them. They are from Sinaloa. They're good guys, and they have stores identical. It's the same concept as they have.
Oh, yeah.
You know them.
Yeah, I know them.
Okay. Well, they're here in Leon, I think in
in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, all the Pacific Ocean, exactly, all the Pacific
Mhm.
Ocean, up to uh, I think Baja California, also in Baja. They are in Baja as well. I believe they are the whole Pacific Ocean,
The
right?
founder was Chinese, right?
The founder Chinese, yes,
Mm.
Actually Lei, but
Okay.
his original name was Lee. They changed it to Lei, but his name was
Yeah.
Lee. Lee
Mm.
Bastidas. All right. And I
Mm.
have a friend Bastidas from Culiacan, actually. He went to
Mm.
the World Chess Championship with me and five other people to Soviet Union, to Russia in
Mm.
1990. But
Wow.
yeah, he says that he was a relative of the owner, uh, Ley or Lee Bastidas. His name was Bastidas Tirado, but I don't think he was a relative. He mentioned just that just to connect himself with the owner. But whatever. They had this process, Mickey, in which they inspected every single truck that went to Culiacan from Guadalajara had to be inspected. And
Mm.
the inspection was quite simple back then. I'm telling you about more than 10 years ago. They had dogs like German shepherds, who
Yeah.
went to smell the merchandise. But they were
Mm.
very well trained, and they said that quite often they found merchandise there. Don't believe that it was useless. No, they found it. Not often, but occasionally they found it.
Yeah, of course.
And so it was a good practice that they had. But other than that, I had never heard this idea of companies trying to. Of course, they need to check the panels of the trucks. Sometimes they dismantled. When I went to Mazatlan many years ago, many years, I had not even got married then.
Mhm.
I had a hat and I was with a friend, and in Guadalajara, they took us down, him and myself, and they
Mhm.
totally dismantled the hats. They thought that we had drugs in the hats. They were really rude and misbehaved. But
Yeah.
the idea was that they were checking everyone on board, and really, really rude. But that was like bad procedure, right? Very
Mhm.
almost violent. That those have been the only two incidents that I have been close to the checking of merchandise going to Guadalajara. But how are you going to implement this, or how is the process in general? Words. If I don't want a fast course right in 10 minutes, but just
Yeah,
curious.
a part of that I'm still learning, to be honest. But yeah, for example, now I'm doing a presentation. The presentation that I'm doing, they're gonna present to the person who comes from the United States government, because that person is gonna give them the CityPad certified. So they need to cover the different fields that we are requiring, with the purpose that the government of the United States give that certification, because with that certification they can, obviously they get benefits too, and they can easily export and import products from the United States. So yeah, for example, I told you there are different fields. One of them is risk assessments. They need to give us like pictures of the enterprise. And for example, tomorrow we'll go to that enterprise because they have like pending things that they haven't sent yet. So we need to check it, and if there's something to improve, okay, we get like clarification, or how can I say it? Like,
Assessment.
yeah, uh-huh, that assessment, and they need to change it to the purpose, obviously, to get a certificate, to get that certificate, and that's from the United States. And here in Mexico is called OEA. I think that OEA means let me,
Organización de Estados Americanos.
yeah,
I think.
yeah, is that
Well,
but
that's a good
uh,
organization.
to be honest, I'm like more involved in CityPath because it's a little bit not easier, but it's not too complex in comparison with OEA, because OEA requires more things than the CityPath. But yeah, I'm still learning, and now I'm doing that presentation. They already sent us some pictures. We need to check what pictures are pending, and then tomorrow we're gonna take those pictures. And if we require certain documents, because we have all the information of the enterprise, we're gonna require that tomorrow. And yeah, first we go to one enterprise in Lagos de Moreno, and after that to Leon, and the next Friday to Leon.
Well, that's truly fabulous, Mickey, because it opens the whole grid for you in I mean for you and for all the people involved.
Yeah.
And because yeah, once you have a grid, it's like imagine Bimbo or imagine Coke.
Hmm.
How easy is it for them to launch a new product or a new service? Well, they have access to the whole thing, right? You have Coke here, and Coke and Bimbo can reach basically any part of the world. Let's say in Mexico, the furthest mountain, the furthest house, they can reach anywhere because they have the logistics, right? So I find a great value in this for many reasons. First, for personal reasons towards you, because you are going to be contacting people that have a good level of connections, enterprises. This is possibly something that's going to open up many paths. If you have the grid and you are reaching them, today is this service, but maybe in the future you can tell them that you have another idea, you have another project, you have another process, anything that you have that you develop, you already have the grid, the mesh. What do you think of this idea of having a mesh accessible for for at the moment, well, for your relative, but eventually all the people that are connected to her, to you, to your family, will possibly have access to all these knots. What do
Yeah.
you think of this idea of accessing a grid?
Yeah, of course, it's a great advantage because you can meet people from different, well, with different perspectives, or from different countries, from different states, and yeah, I don't know, but you don't know in the future if you're gonna need helps from them or they're gonna need help from you. So yeah, I think that it's good to be involved in a, like you mentioned, here in a group, and try to develop new connections. I think that new
Yeah,
connections
exactly.
always are great.
Yeah, because at the moment you are doing something that can connect you well with this OEA. OEA is an international organization. It has lots of, I mean, interconnections, all connections. If you're able to be part of that or the other one, which is the City Path, well, at the moment you are doing the certifications, but eventually your aunt can acquire new services, right? New ideas. You can develop partnership with other people that have certain skills. For example, uh, business, culture, lots of things. So I think once, like they said, they used to say, 80% of success is being there. If you are there, you already guaranteed 80%,
Yeah, that is true.
right?
Yeah, actually, one of the reasons why I wanna be involved in this business, one is because yeah, in a way, it's a little bit related to my career,
Yeah.
and second because well, one time she told us that she wants to get retired, and one time she mentioned that who's gonna continue with the business because obviously the sons and daughters of my uncle, they're not like too uh, involved in the business because probably they don't care too much. So in a way, I don't know, things change so fast, and I don't want to predict something, but why not in the future to me and probably other people continue with this business now, obviously with the experience that I'm trying to get now. So yeah, I don't know. As you mentioned, there are always possibilities, and just to stay there is the first step.
Yeah, let's say that you're here now, right? Here are you, Mickey. But then you say, how can I reach the the president of the European Union? You say it's so far. Well, maybe it's far, maybe it's not, right? You don't know how far this is. But once you are in the grid, if you are in the grid, you are already there. You
Yeah.
say, I'm curious to meet the president of the United Nations. Why? Out of curiosity. But he looks
Mhm.
so far. Well, maybe far, maybe not so far. You are in the same grid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
once you are interconnected, reaching that person or reaching that organization becomes much easier.
Hmm.
So that's the only concept that I wanted to share with you, Mickey,
Yes, sure.
because
Thank you much.
I think
Yeah,
also
it makes total sense because one time I read that probably you are between 5 to 7 people away the person that you really wants to meet. So yeah, being part of one grid, it gives you more possibilities in everything.
exactly. Yeah, well, good luck, and I'm sure you're gonna do fine.
Thank you, teacher. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Keep us posted, please, and I'm sure you're gonna do great.
Thank you.
Um, I made a quick quiz
Mm-hmm.
precisely on the topic that you were talking about. Let's see how intuitive you are in this topic. Let's read the first question, please, Mickey, and see how you feel
Mm-hmm.
about this topic, which is new for me too.
What is one of the primary methods used by customs agency to detect illegal drugs? Random inspections, advanced imaging technology, increased taxes on imports, lowering the number of inspection personnel.
Buenos días.
Uh,
Good morning, buenos dias.
my mom is here in another session, but
Buenos días, Edgardo.
Hola, Marta, ¿qué tal? Saludos.
Saludos. Yo aquí
mm,
conectada también y estoy saludando, pero ustedes sigan. Que
or,
estés bien, Edgardo.
Igualmente,
Saludos.
saludos a todos. Bye.
Gracias. Bye, bye.
or teacher, let me see if I can move in to other place because probably there's a lot of noise here.
Right now, no problem. I got confused because I was not seeing the screen, so I
Yeah.
thought she was reading from in front of you, and occasionally
Mhm.
because I
Buenos
cover the
días.
screen completely, I don't get to see that. Sorry about that, but well,
Yes, teacher.
I had the
Sorry.
opportunity to say hello. No, no problem.
Let me move to other place, teacher, because part of that
Muy bien.
my cat is
Yo
screaming.
pensé,
So
dije, a lo mejor
Don't
no.
worry, don't worry. That's all right.
Ya iba a buscar otra.
Oh, that's all right.
yeah, teacher. Sorry. Here is
Don't
much
worry,
better.
don't worry. No, don't worry. It's no worries. Perfect. So we were saying primary methods used by customs agencies to detect illegal drugs.
Mhm. Um, well, I'm between two. One of them, random inspections, and the other one, advanced imaging technology.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one actually.
Yeah.
They have now so much technology, which is quite sophisticated. Um, what have you seen in terms of imaging technology, Mickey?
Mm, uh, well, for example, Something that I have seen in the supplier chain is that everything is monitored by GPS. Every stop is notified. For example, if the bus driver stops in a specific place,
Can you give me a second, really quick, to take a phone call, Mickey? Really quick,
yeah.
please. Sorry, Mickey. Uh, you were
No
saying that
worries.
you had seen GPS systems.
Yeah, and those GPS systems are are so advanced and sophisticated because it notifies to the primary office. I don't know how to say it. Every stop, if actually they go to a gas station, if the bus driver stops to eat something, every uh, every stop is notified by GPS, and obviously it's 24/7 monitoring. So yeah, it's something that I have seen. To be honest, I'm just well, I have like 3 or 4 days involved in that, so probably I need to learn a lot of things. But until now, I have seen that.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Now that you talk about GPS systems that have evolved and have enhanced or and extended their applications. For instance, in the company that I teach that is close to your home, which is laser and GPS systems,
Hmm.
they have control. They control the tractors. They
Yeah.
have control. They control the tractors with GPS so that they are able to make perfect lines for the rows where they're going to plant the crops, broccoli, lettuce, whatever.
Hmm.
And they sell the systems to the growers, and the growers are able to align the single rows so straight that they almost have 100% precision. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And what is guiding the tractor is the GPS system. So they have lots of applications, even in agriculture, Miguel, as you correctly pointed out.
Yeah, exactly. It's so interesting. So many of the countries that are trying to get the certifications actually are from the rural sector. So yeah, it makes totally sense.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Imaging technology also involves colorimetry. Colorimetry, which is another issue that is used both in medicine to detect tumors and not malign tumors, or in agriculture to detect if the plant is healthy or has a disease. Also, the same company has the systems that has monitoring systems in which they take pictures of the plants, and the plant has certain unusual colors. They are analyzed and they can detect and determine if there is a disease or a problem in the plant. Same as with the body. So
Yeah.
this imaging technology has lots of applications, and obviously, thanks to the colorimetry techniques, they're able to detect unusual colors and consequently unusual conditions of the system, like an
Hmm.
illegal drug, right?
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting.
It is impressively interesting and lots of applications. Let's do question number two, Miggy, please.
Hmm. Which of the following is an effective way to enhance border security against drug smuggling? Reducing the number of checkpoints, implementing regular training for border personnel, limiting international trade, allowing unmonitored crossings. Well, I would say that implementing regular training for border personnel.
Yeah. Well, that's one way. The other is what you guys are doing, all right, which is training companies that have some kind of export trade, trade agreements,
Yeah.
you train the personnel. How do you think the training is going to take place besides complying with certain regulations and paperwork? How would you train personnel on this aspect?
Mm, well, I actually think that a part of the different requirements that we're asking to them, I think that they receive two like certain type of courses, and obviously uh, divided in different fields or sectors of the company. It's not the same with human resources than logistics and all stuff. So yeah, in a way they receive like this capacitation, or how can I say it? Yeah,
Training.
yeah. Sorry, this training uh, to get updated in this topic.
Yeah, it is incredible what they're doing. I'm surprised. Very
Yeah.
good, Mickey. Thank you very much. This is what the dogs in Casale were doing in the site.
Hmm.
Drug sniffing dogs. So let's
Yeah.
see number three, Mickey, please.
What role do drug sniffing dogs play in preventing drug smuggling? They ward the borders, they take concealed drugs by their scent, they intimidate potential smugglers, they check travelers' documentation. Uh, they detect concealed drugs by their scent.
Yeah, apparently, well, it's not my forte, of course, but
Mhm.
I know that some drugs emit some scents, some odors that can
Mhm.
be detected by dogs.
Mhm. Yeah, of course.
How do you imagine they train these dogs to detect the scents?
I don't know. Actually, yesterday I was trying to find out a person who trains my dog because my dog is a disaster.
Oh, really?
And yeah, but I have seen videos where when they are like puppies, they try to involve in this topic, obviously, and they put it like different uh, packages, or they just let the dogs smell different things, or in the airports like the luggage and all stuff. So I would imagine that when they detect that scent, since they are puppies, probably they keeps them like, I don't know, a type of gratification to a reward, and then they uh, they are prepared to do that in the future. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay. I imagine, I also don't know for sure. I'm not certain about it, but I believe they make the dogs addicted to the scent. So once they find
Um,
it, they
uh-huh.
go and run after it, which is a bit cruel, but
Yeah.
they serve a purpose. But I believe they make them addicted to that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
Was
cool.
was better my version.
Well, I don't know. Poor dogs. What's their
Yeah,
fault? They have nothing to do.
I
But
don't know that, but yeah, it makes sense.
yeah. Let's see question number four, Mickey, please.
Hmm. How can international cooperation help in combating drug smuggling? By promoting open borders, by sharing intelligence and coordinating enforcement actions, by reducing the number of customs officials, by standardizing all import-export regulations. Mm, probably, well, I'm between two. By sharing intelligence and coordinating enforcement actions, probably.
Yeah. This is more specific. Maybe you were thinking of letter D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I
is a
was
bit more,
between those.
yeah, more general. This is more general, but more specific is letter B because then you're sharing specific intelligence
Mhm.
about specific things. What's your opinion about intelligence in general in organizations like the Mossad, the KGB, the CIA? the MI5, etc. What's your how do you like those organizations? What purpose do they serve? How effective and useful are they? Do you have an idea about how they operate and how functional they are?
Mm, the intelligence of those intelligence organizations.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I imagine that obviously they used uh, a lot of new technology. They prepare their people, and yeah, it is so interesting. Probably I have like not an accurate idea of what it really does. Normally, I'm a little bit influenced by the movies that I have seen. That there's like I don't know, um, Mission Impossible or
yeah,
that type
of course, of course.
of movies, and I relate those intelligent organizations to that. But probably, yeah, probably it's not too. How can I say it? Like, mm,
Too different from what we watch on
yeah,
movies.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's well. I'm also influenced and biased, but what I have seen and read, I read some espionage novels by French people, by English people, Americans, of course, Russians, and yeah, Israeli people. People say that one of the most or the best intelligence services in the world has been the Israeli secret
That's right.
services, which is called the Mossad.
Mm-hmm.
And I once read a book, very, very interesting book, which is called Inside the Mossad. Let me see if I have it. It's a really, really interesting book. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it talks about all the politicians that have been involved in this organization from Israel, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And they claim to be one of the best, if not the best, uh, spying organization in the world, Inside the Mossad. Let me see if I have it. No, I lost it. When they stole my computer, they stole that book as well. But it's easy to find because I think it was a PDF a document for free that I remember. Do you think you can Google it, Mickey? I'm sure it's going to be in the net for free.
Inside
Inside
the Mossad.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, let me check it.
PDF.
That's
PDF
all
is
on
good.
Inside the Mossad. There's a mini series too.
Oh, okay, okay.
Inside the Mossad. Yeah,
I found it.
it's in Prime Video. You found it?
Oh, yeah. I found the book, but the
Hmm?
series is great to watch.
The
What is
Mossad, Israel's Secret Intelligence Service. That's the name of the book.
I found the book, this The Greatest Missions of the Israeli Secret Service.
Mm-hmm.
Let me download it anyways. I'll send it to you. Maybe
Thank
that's
you.
another one. If you found it and it's in PDF, well, please, if you can please send it to me. I'll send you this now. Let's see here. I just found inside. It's The Greatest Missions of the Israeli Secret Service. It is 155 pages. Let me send it to you.
Yeah, I already found it.
You
I
already
have the
found it? Oh,
yeah.
okay. That seems to be a good book.
Michael Bar Sohar.
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
There was an anecdote that was told to me by my former boss and friend René Macuset, who had his father-in-law is the owner of Autoventas, the Volkswagen company here in Leon that sells
Mm.
Volkswagen cars. That's
Okay.
his father-in-law. He's a great man. He's a very smart and very wealthy person. And he told my friend an anecdote about kidnappings that were taking place in Monterrey. And apparently the local police was involved in the kidnappings of wealthy
Mm.
people. Well, they got tired of that. The businessmen in Monterrey got tired of that, and they hired a group of people from the Mossad. And in less than 3 4 weeks, they caught them all. They caught all the kidnappers in 3 weeks, and they took them in a ship and took them to the ocean, to the open sea, and they started to throw them one by one to the sharks. All of them save for one. And that one says, well, my fate is clear. I'm going to die too in the ocean, in the mouth or in the jaws of the sharks. But strangely enough, they let him free. They set him free. He says, I'm going to be free. Yeah, go. And then everyone was puzzled. I says, why is that? They says, well, simple. He's the messenger. He's going to tell everyone what's going to happen if they continue kidnapping people in Monterrey. And believe it
Mm.
or not, that stopped the people for a couple of years, 3 or 4 years.
We need to hire that people here in Guanajuato.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's,
Wow.
but well,
It's like a
that
movie.
yeah, yeah. It sounds like a movie, but apparently it was a true story. Apparently, well, that's intelligence.
Yeah.
Let's do question number 5, Mickey, please. Can we?
Mhm. What is the purpose of using S-ray and gamma ray scanners at border crossings? To speed up the process of crossing the border, to detect contraband hidden inside vehicles and cargo, to weight the vehicles, to identify the drivers. Uh, to detect contraband hidden inside vehicles and cargo,
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that is possible these days.
to identify if something's hidden.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible to identify that, but I don't know who would be so brave as to try to hide vehicles in
Hmm.
a cargo ship, in a cargo boat. I mean, it's a totally different business from what you and I are in.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to be. It sounds so bad to me, at least, to be
Yeah.
smuggling, yeah,
One
merchant.
time I remember that one person at university gave us like a little conference about international trade, and he mentioned about that, about the people who normally they have like this. Obviously, they are like laundering money and all stuff, and they have like their enterprises, and they export and they import. And in occasions, yeah, they use like the different cargoes of their merchandise, but involved in that merchandise, there's like, well, obviously they found like drugs and all stuff. So I don't know. I think that until people, but I don't know if now it's so easy. Probably just when probably some customs are like colluded with the
Yeah, yeah.
with those stuffs, but I don't know.
Well, according to gossip, and I cannot say other than gossip because I don't have any evidence, but
Hmm.
according to gossip, not only the customs houses are involved, but also the governments. They say that the governments are involved and they have a stake. They take a part of the cake.
Yeah, probably. Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. But well, we're pretending that everything is lovely and clean, a rosy world. Let's pretend that for a moment.
Let's think in that way.
Yeah. Let's do question 6 then, Mickey, please.
Yeah. Which legal measure can be effective in deterring drug smuggling? Decriminalizing all drugs, imposing harsher penalties for the drug trafficking offenses, reducing funding for law enforcement, removing surveillance cameras at border points. Mm, Probably imposing harsher penalties.
Harsher penalties, yes, exactly right.
Penalties. Yeah.
For drug trafficking offenses. Yeah, I think I told you. I think I told you that once I saw this politician, very famous, what's his name? A politician that has, what's his name? Reed Green. I forgot his name. He was in Channel 11 and he seemed to be demotivating. He wanted to deter people from getting into the drug business, right? But he was saying something. How can it be possible? It is terrible. You bring the gum from Colombia to Mexico at $600, and then in 4 days it is worth 4 million in Manhattan. No, get away from that business.
Oh my god.
At
Yeah, it's
prime time at 9 o'clock, Mickey. I don't know if instead of trying to deter people from getting involved in the business, he was more like that. He was trying to more or less motivating them
Hmm.
in a hidden way.
Yeah, to open mind to some entrepreneurs.
There, yeah, but it was at prime time, 9 o'clock in the evening, Channel 11 from UNAM. I said, how can this be? Santiago Krill, that's him.
Ah, Santiago Cruz. Yeah,
Santiago,
I
yeah,
have heard of him.
yeah, he's a top level politician speaking at prime time, saying exactly that, right? Yeah, but well, so we want to deter people, we want to deter them, to demotivate them, but sometimes it looks like the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is question number 7, Mickey, please.
Hmm. Why is it important to have public awareness campaigns about drug smuggling? Uh, to encourage more travel, to inform the public about the consequences and signs of smuggling, to reduce funding for anti-smuggling operation, to promote the use of illegal drugs. Um, to inform the public about the consequences and signs of smuggling.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Hi, teacher. Yeah, I can. Don't worry.
Okay, perfect. Maybe what the CIA was hearing.
Probably they were spying
There
us.
are birds and the
Yeah.
wires. You know the expression?
Yeah, let's be cautious.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you managed to hear my comment, my question. What is
uh, mm, the last thing that I listened was that we finished the question 7, but mm,
oh
did you say the other
no,
thing?
I said yeah, I made a comment about the English putting a tapestry of opium in India. Then they invaded China on the excuse that there was a free market and they could bring in their opium products to China, even
Mm,
if China didn't accept that, and the Chinese even had to pay penalties for that. Then the Colombian people and people in South America got the production, and then they started to send drugs to the U.S. and the Western countries. That was considered a crime, and a lot of propaganda against that, which I still well I see. And then apparently there have been lots of plantations in Texas, New Mexico, and California for weeds and marijuana, and now the use of that is optional and not necessarily bad. That can be for rejoicement purposes. You can use it for your own ludic, for pleasure, right? With minimum quantities,
mhm.
not to negotiate. So the change of the law makes me think if governments and politicians change the law at convenience for their own convenience. If you do it, it's bad, but if I do it, it's okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, it's not a surprise that normally the different governments creates and eliminates two laws depending of what they're gonna do. So so yeah, for example, we were talking about the in occasions the collusion there between the illegal cartels and the government. But when you see and analyze, for example, the things that the government does too, it's easier to think about those theories and those, of those conspiracy theories. Um, it's a mess, but unfortunately, it's probably that it's the reality.
Yeah, yeah. That makes us. That gives us the motivation to be even more careful, right? To be really careful.
Yeah.
Obviously, not in what we do because we are honest, clean people, but in what we say, we need to be very discreet and very. Some, and I say maybe that to myself because I know that sometimes I am very outspoken and I say maybe more than I should, but well,
Yeah.
just makes me wonder about this episode.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, Mickey. Let's do question number 8, please.
Hmm. What technology is commonly used to monitor and control the movement of shipping containers to prevent the smuggling? Radio frequency identification, standard padlocks, manual tracking, none of the above. Mm, Probably the radio frequency identification.
Yeah, yeah, that is a good frequency. Uh, a friend of mine here in Leon, who's a
Hmm.
very smart guy in electronics. Also, your dad knows him. His name is Manuel Araiza. He's a great guy, he's a smart guy. He's a friend of your dad and my friend too.
Okay.
He has a business exactly on this. He brings tags from Israel actually and sells them for different applications. One of the applications is to put them in a cow. When you have cattle, like 100 cows,
Hmm.
sometimes you forget which cow is which. 200
Yeah.
cows, you say, well, there was a cow that was sick. I forgot which one was that. So, but with the tag in the ear, you're able
Hmm.
to, whatever the name, Juanita or whatever, or
Yeah.
X2 or R2D2, right? Whatever. You give it a
Whatever.
name,
Uh-huh.
the weight, the history, and oh, yeah, she had a disease 2 weeks ago, and we gave him antibiotics and this and that. So you maintain control of cattle but it has many other applications. And he's a very smart guy that works on this precisely.
Now that you mentioned that, I remember one time I was watching Shark Tank. Do you know that program?
Yeah, that's a great problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and they mentioned exactly that it was like a little ship in cows or in pigs, and they have like all the historical information, and their health information,
Mhm.
and I think that they detect if the cow is sick for certain like signs that the body produce, and they can notify to the general program. So yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah, and the thing is that you have a reader, and the reader is able to read the tag at a moment, in a second, and get all the
Mhm.
information really quick. So just pass the gun reader, and then you're able to monitor each cow. And imagine a field of 200 acres or something is
Yeah.
really useful. Instead of saying, "Oh, I need to go to walk half a kilometer," take notes of the cow, maybe a scale to find the weight. You put
Hmm.
the cow on the scale to find how heavy the cow is. And say, "Oh, I need to go back to take notes." It's really really slow. Whereas with the reader through RFID is much easier and much faster and much simpler. So yeah, this is a great technology.
Yeah, and obviously for the rural field, it's an investment because imagine the time that you spend to detect if a cow is sick or not, and and now with that, well, it's much easier, and you can see and you can fix if you can.
Particularly in international commerce is also very useful because you have the boxes and you put the labels and you
Hmm.
put the barcode, and then you're able to read the barcode really quick with the gun, with the
Hmm.
meter.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah, I
really
think that
really
is
useful.
something that Amazon does too. For example, in occasions when we send products to the Amazon storages, uh, they ask us to put a little barcode. They send us the barcode, and you need to put it on it. Or if there are a lot of pieces, well, you can decide if you put it or Amazon puts those barcodes. And yeah, they give us an update of everything when they receive the product, when they uh, how to say like how to say when you disload the
Unload.
unload unload the product, you receive all the notifications, and then when they scan the amount of products that you sent, and that is according to that with the um, and well, there's like a little document when you put the amount of products that you're gonna send to Amazon, and they according to the products that they scan, they say if they were the full packages or if someone is like lose it or something. So yeah, I imagine that it's technology is improving so fast in logistics and in so many fields.
Exactly, exactly. And if you are familiar with that, it's going to be much easier to make use of this as a tool for other ideas, like as you say, international trade that you're carrying out.
Yeah, yeah, it's
That's
interesting.
that's fabulous. Excellent. Okay, very good, Mickey. Thank you very much. Let's do question number 9, please.
How do intelligence-led operations assist in combating drug smuggling? By randomly selecting targets, by focusing resources on high-risk areas.
Excuse me.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, by focusing resources on high-risk areas and individuals based on gathered intelligence, by ignoring suspicious activity, by decentralizing enforcement agencies. Um, by focusing resources on high-risk areas and individuals based on gathered intelligence.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, so they place individuals that gather intelligence. Uh, what are the risks that you see are associated with this activity? I place a policeman in, let's say, in Inglés Individual, right? Which is my natural
Mhm.
competitor. It's not, of course, not. I'm just joking. But let's say I am in charge of security in the city, and I'm going to place a policeman in Inglés Individual because I want to make sure that they don't. smuggle drugs in language centers in Irapuato. And some person will say, well, yeah, but what are you going to do with the information? You probably will sell it to Toplass, to teacher Juan Edgardo Pacheco, right?
Hmm.
And they say, well, it's myself. I'm sorry. I'm not use. So I can get private and commercial advantage by having so much information. Yeah, the excuse, or not the excuse, the motive is that's going to be for control of illicit drugs, but that's too much information. Is it
Yeah.
possible that they also sell that information to private companies? Well, I believe it is. So, what do you think? Is it possible or maybe not?
Yeah, it is possible. I think that normally companies and yeah, so many companies, private companies do that. For example, we know that everything that we type in our cell phone, every search that we are looking on Google, everything is monitored, and that information they sell to the company. So yeah, I would imagine that they do that and more.
Yeah, right, that's true. Well, at least as long as we are conscious that this can happen, we can say that we are more or less free, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very good. Well, let's do the last question of this questionnaire, please,
Mhm.
Mickey.
What is the benefit of using undercover operations in the fight against drug smuggling? It reduces the cost of border security. It gathers first-hand evidence and disrupts smuggling networks from within. It increases the workload of law enforcement. It discourages the use of advanced technology. Mm, well, it gathers first-hand evidence and disrupts smuggling networks from within.
Yeah, first-hand evidence. Now, the one thing that I would comment about this is, what if I say now I am going to make sure there is no terror practices in the US. So I am going to send my troops there. What if I say this?
Yeah, probably. mm, to make sure there's no terror practice in the US, so I'm going to send my troops here.
Right?
Yeah, probably. Uh, you say that because you have the information that yeah, there are terror practices in the U.S. So that's the reason why you're gonna send your troops there.
Yeah, but what they're going to say, what's your authority? Yeah, I mean, why do I say I am the law and I decide which agency, which certification, which permits, which this? In other
Hmm.
words, um, how can I take the flag of authority and say,
Yeah, of course.
I decide what is right, what is wrong, what is a good
Hmm.
practice, what is malpractice, who are terrorists, who are not? That's what I question. I mean, the idea is very good. Okay, the idea is very good. Now, okay, I'm going to send my troops to the US to check that they have good practices. They will say, no, 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 wait, I am the authority. Yeah, why? That's my,
Yeah,
that's,
of course. There are so many cases where, for example, the typical one, United States wants to establish the peace in the whole world, but it's one of the countries with more cases of drug addiction and well, for example, I think that you can buy a gun at 18, but you can vote at 21. So there are different things that probably is not according what their way of see the world.
yeah. And this is to me a little bit illogical, but well, that's how it is. But as long as we are conscious that some things need to evolve, that I like something about the French national anthem that says fraternity, equality, we are all equal, right? One country shouldn't say, I dictate to you, right? But more equality Égalité is the word in French. Égalité, égalité, equality, right? In equal terms, with
Mhm.
respect to each other, right? So when we say the word égalité in French, it means exactly that, right? That we're equal, country to country, people to people, race to race. And if we work on those terms, I mean, then there's going to be a communion in my belief. What do you think about this word, Mickey?
Egalite. Yeah, yeah, of course. I think that not just because one country is more developed than other means that they have like the control of that country. At the end, we are humans. We are probably, yeah, with different races, with different beliefs, with different religions, but we need to respect that. And I think that when you respect that, uh, it's much better because, well, there exists like this diversity and respect one from the others. I think so.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right, exactly right. So, well, it's amazing what these programs can do, and they serve a good purpose. It's
Hmm.
just the terms in which people communicate. We can say, I mean, I can tell my brother, I can tell my brother, I can tell my friend, let's make let's make a squad, a group of people to maintain the streets clean. I give the orders, and you guys sweep the streets. Well, yeah, it's a good purpose, but you see,
Yeah, of course.
so um, well, there's a lot of challenges that need to be fulfilled, and we need to complete. And but in general, I think we're doing okay. Don't you think, Mickey?
Yeah, we have improved. And as you mentioned, starting from the awareness, right?
Yeah.
Be aware.
Be aware. That's a key word. Be aware, a key phrase. Once we're aware, the path is easy. Right? It's like if you're. Have you seen those Animal Planet scenes in which there is a hyena, there is a leopard? I love those scenes. There is a hyena, there is a leopard, there is a raccoon, and there is a chimpanzee at the tree, and everyone has a different agenda, right?
Yeah.
More or less is I'm going to eat you, more or less, right?
Hmm.
Right? The predators, and they look at each other, and they know that they are there. They measure
Hmm.
the distance. I love that scene because they are taking stock, taking space. Right? They're saying, "How far is the leopard from me? Well, I can run. How far is the chimpanzee from me? Well, I can hunt him." So they are, yeah, they're measuring distance. So
Yeah, of course. The importance of awareness.
exactly. Once we're aware, we're in good shape. Okay, Mickey. Well, good chat as usual.
Yes, sure. As usual. Thank you very much.
Thanks, and thank you for your patience. It took me longer than I expected, but well, we made it.
Ah, don't worry, teacher. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, see you soon, Mickey. You're gonna be busy the rest of the week, or you think maybe one of these days in the morning we can do something?
Today is Wednesday, right?
This Wednesday.
Well, tomorrow I go to Lagos de Moreno and Leon, and the Saturday I come back to the master's degree.
Okay.
Well, probably this week is a little bit busy. I hope that not all the weeks we're gonna go out to see the enterprises, but at least this week that was my first week, we're
Yeah.
gonna go out this time. So yes,
I
sure.
see.
This week I'm a little bit busy, but the next one, let's see what day is better for us.
Okay. Perfect. Monday I go to Toluca on
Okay.
Monday, but we can do it on Tuesday or Wednesday next week. All right.
Yes, sure. I'll send you a message and you let me know at what time is good for you.
Okay, excellent, Mickey. Take care. Nice weekend and congratulations. And see you soon then, Mickey.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy your weekend, and we see you in touch.